A little one for the money, two for the show, three.
A aula de hoje é para aprender como fazer um pouco de improviso. Olá, Brasil! Olhar o mundo. Aqui, lá no Boveda, Rádio Terra. Boa tarde, todo mundo. Boa tarde, Brasil. Não, vocês têm outros acordes. Ok, eu vou falar e vocês podem pegar esses outros. Você pode fazer Fá. E você pode fazer um Dó. E Lá menor. Pode fazer Fá. Dó. Lá menor. Dó. Que é Fá. Dó. Stand by me. 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 Vamos fazer isso. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Vou tentar. Two. E faz.
A little one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready now. Cool cat go, I said, don't you have? Step on my blue suede shoe. You can do anything but stay hard for them blue suede shoes.
Think again. E faz.
Well, you can knock me down, you can sit on my face, slandering my name all over the place. Do anything that you wanna do. Where's my...
Vou parar. Agora vamos ter certeza que você sabe. Agora a primeira coisa que você aprendeu foi essa. Mas eu tô dando outra parte de brinde. Ok? Onde você vai pegar nessa primeira casa e você vai tocar um número. Olha como é esse número. Você faz 1, 2, 3, 4. Ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Começa na 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eu tô no 8. Todo mundo, boa tarde, Brasil. Now, Elvis, no início. Now, Elvis, no início da música, olha o que ele faz. Ele faz assim. Ele faz.
A little one for the money, two for the show, three.
A aula de hoje é para aprender como fazer um pouco de improviso. Olá, Brasil! Olhar o mundo. Aqui, lá no...
It brings a tear into my eyes. Every time I begin to realize I cried so much since you've been gone. I guess I drown in my own tears. Hey everybody, here we are in part 2 of Drowning My Own Tears. So this is your guitar teacher, Lon, from Radio Terra. That's our channel where we broadcast on, and it's brought to you by Banate Hockey. That's our band. It's a Brazilian old school R&B blues band with Brazilian beats. And anyway, so we put together this project. We have free music lessons, and this one is the second part of Drowning My Own Tears by Ray Charles. And just in case you found this and you didn't see the lesson from last week, you can sign up right here. There's a way to do it. Just follow the steps. You just put your name, your email, and you'll get notification of when the next class is. You get a link of where you can get the materials. Like the materials on this one are, Gabe, let's show the chart. So we got the chart here, and then we have the caged diagram, which we're referring to a lot now. We're going to be doing that today. Do the cage stuff, Gabriel, please. So we're going to be going through today the first line of this song, Drowning My Own Tears, and we're going to show you how it relates to the cage system. And this is going to be building something where you can use in all the songs. That's the way we've been doing it here. Then we have, what else do we have on here? Cage system. I think that's, yeah. So that's the main thing. But some of the other classes, they have scales, other kinds of diagrams. But let's just go back to the me talking. Oh, there I am. I'm talking here. Okay, I'll stay here for a second. So anyway, let's go to the chart, please. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through this first line, and basically it's a D-flat blues. So if you've been here and you've seen the class, we've got 3 years. When you sign up, you'll be able to check in on 3 years of three trimesters. But this class is live, so you could come in and go, okay, so what's the basic key this is in, or what's this, or what's that, and why is he playing a D instead of a D7th? And for example, which we're going to talk about that a little bit. Ray Charles, he's like a piano thing, and so this is kind of a way to respect how he plays that. He does he's got a pickup line, which I didn't put. So he hits the A flat 7th sharp 5. It brings, so that's it brings a tear into my eyes when I begin. Okay, so anyway, this first line, so what we're going to go through is we're going to talk about how this first line works. And then eventually we're going to get to how this all fits together for improvising against this kind of a D-flat blues or any kind of blues. But we're going to break the chords down and show you this is basically just, you could be singing, it brings a tear into my eyes when I begin to realize I cried so much since you've been gone. But anyway, he doesn't do that. He kind of he stays, you can stay, he's pretty much on that D flat, but then he goes to a cool thing. He goes over to the 4. Then he does this diminished in the last measure of the first line. We talked about that last week. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to kind of review our caged chords, and instead of just staying on a D, and just to review, it's a sharp 5, and we work with numbers, and so it's an A flat, so you just can kind of
let's just look at where this A flat comes from, okay? So let's go to the cage chords and see it. Look at that A flat. Okay, now let's go to the cage chords. Now, where would that come from? I'll guess. It's the E. It's the E, cage ed. So it's an E form. So let's go down to the E. And the E form moves around based on the sixth string because the sixth string's an E. So we do the same thing. Instead of the nut giving us the E, we put our finger, F. Let's move all the way up to A flat. And then there's a thing, I like to know. You need to know what's going on here. You need to know that this is 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. Because what's cool, because then you start to know, okay, this is 1, 5, 6. That's the flat seventh. But anyway, that's 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you take the 5, sharp it. Okay, so that's what it is. And then, so let's go back to, so we got this E cage. We go up to this A. And then, so when you play this, you kind of can see. But now, what's this note? That note kind of, it's the fourth fret, and it's on the third string, right? The fourth string, right? Well, that is the dominant seventh. That's the dominant seventh that we're going to talk about today. We're really going to talk about the dominant seventh because it's like this big thing for blues. You guys know that, and if you don't, you're going to know a lot more about it. It's dominant. It takes over everything. And I'm just going to, and you can come here and correct me live next week or stop in now and say, hey, man, you're wrong. It wasn't Beethoven that was the first guy that did that. As a matter of fact, let's find out who did that. One of these guys, either Mozart or Beethoven, played a dominant seventh, and some emperor was wanted to have him killed for that. It stuck out so much in his symphony. Hey, George, who was this first guy? Was it tell me the story. Was Beethoven the first guy that played a dominant seventh note in a symphony and it made this big scandal? Was that Mozart? It was some big composer, right? Who played the first dominant seventh? I think it was Beethoven. What do you think? I'm asking George, the AI, music AI guy. Okay, what's he say? Dun dun dun. Not great question. Probably about Beethoven. The dominant seventh. It wasn't invented by Beethoven. It had been around since the Baroque music. In fact, oh God, well, there we go. There's this guy, Jean-Philippe Hamiel. He wrote about it, but who invented Beethoven gets a lot. He gets a credit because, okay, he didn't invent it. He used it with power and tension, and he used it in his famous finale of the Third Symphony. Oh, God. Yeah, that's the Eroica. Also used the dominance of Mozart. More of an elegant, more style. Okay, so in answer to your question, Beethoven didn't invent the dominant seventh, but yes, he was one of the first to make it sound like a revolution because he did, okay, yeah. Okay, well, okay. So Beethoven made it famous, but it made people angry. Well, that's a discussion for another day because he used it in that symphony, Eroica, which is, he wrote it for Napoleon, right? And then Napoleon bombed the crap out of where he lived, and he took it back, and he changed the name of it. Anyway, and then Beethoven got, anyway, so the whole story behind. But anyway, it's this dominant thing, and so at the time, he played it, and people were like, what? It just stuck out, and so look how it sticks out. So here is a C chord, the cage, and then you put this. But so we want to play a little bit of a little funky thing. I can sing, she got the kitty and taking me for a ride.
Now I put this flat seventh in there. Ba-da-da. She got the kitty and she put me for a ride. Bam, bam, bum, bum, bam. That's also the dominant seventh. So she got the kid and she put. Oh, so she's not C. She got the kid. Oh yeah, how that makes it build. He goes. Anyway, it's the rock and roll note, dominant, and it sticks out. Okay, blues is like based on they're all dominant chords. So if you're like in a C blues, you know, it's like there's that song. It starts the song "Trouble" by Elvis. G7, 5, 4, F7, C. Boom, bam, bam. Okay, dan, dan. I'm looking for trouble. In the right place. So anyway, it's a dominant seventh, sticks out, and it's the blues seventh. Now Ray is playing the blues, but he's Ray and he's gospeling out here, so he doesn't put it in on this first chord. So look at the first chord. So at the first chord, before we switch, I'm just gonna give this away. The first chord is a D flat, but he's using the cage form. So what's the deal with the cage? What's the main thing with the cage chords? You kind of need to know what these dots mean first of all, and how to move them. Okay, so we got an A. Well, if you want to play an A sharp, okay, what do you do? Or if you want to play a C using that same form, the A form, what do you do? Well, let's see. Let's go in the alphabet. A, B, C. So C is higher up in tone, right? So we got to move the chord. So we move those dots up. We have A. Then we got to go to B. Well, where is that? Well, how do I know where to move it to? Well, where is the root of the chord? And so let's analyze this. Where's the root of that A chord? What's the name of the chord? It's an A. Anybody have a guitar handy? What's the name of the fifth string? Does anybody know? Oh, it's A. So how do we move that A note? Well, we could see if we can grab someone's finger. Cora, Kiana, come here. I'm calling my dog. She won't do it. Okay, I know. I'll borrow my finger, and I'll put my finger on a B. Now I'm going to... But here I don't need my finger because we got this plastic thing, and there's an E there. So I move my finger. Now I got an B here, so let's got to put the dots up 3. So I move up to B, and then da-da-da. So now I got a B. Now I move it up to a C. I got a C, okay? Now, while we're here, let's go back to the A. So you kind of got to know what the notes are. And it's like, this is just going to help you, man, because if you're going to... So you got this, so you have, that's the root. Then next got 5, and that's 1. These 3 are 5, 3, 1. So if I want a minor, I got an A minor. Now let's go back to the thing. Where's the 1 at? So what is dominant seventh? What is it? Well, it's the real seventh, but you flat it. And we know what flatting means. We just go down a step. What's a step? That's the thing that these frets are, half steps. So I'm here. So where's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's like, let me take you. So you got the A. You go to the 7th. Flat 7. Lift up the 3 to the 2. So A, major 7th, A 7th. So A7th, the dominant seventh is so important that when you say A7th, they mean dominant seventh. It's such a badass chord that play me an A7th, they don't play the real seventh. The real, you got to say, no, it's an A major seventh. So when you're playing, you don't know, babe, when you hold me. And then what happens? And as sweetly, the sweet you are. So you start off, so this is a D major seventh. Okay, so let's move it. Here's D. Why is it a D major seventh? Because it's here. D, D regular old. Now I just dropped the 8, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. Ooh, what the heck? Man, when I bought this thing, it was in tune. Okay, it's a joke. So it's 1, 5, 1, 3. I mean 1. So it's 1, 5, 1, 5. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, here I am. Yeah, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5. Okay, so then I go 1 down to 7. I can go down to flat 7th. Okay. So what we're doing. So that's how I like kind of, that's our, so we have a major 7th. But right now, so we're going to go into D, a regular D. And then, but let's go back to this cage thing first. Okay. But we have this C, and we're going to use this in this song because we have a, let's find out how to find the dominant 7th on this C. So what we do, we go 1, 2, 3. You can use your ear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 7th is right here on the B string. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But we flatted. And so and now it's right here. Now we got a little triangle. So you have that C chord, but you put your finger. Can you go tight on me, buddy? So we got this finger here. Okay. And you have a chord you can move all over the place. So it's C. E. She got the kids. So anyway, man, you just move all C, E, same chord, and you just got F. Okay. And so, and then this whole thing, like when Stevie Ray Vaughan, he plays this song, it's called Can't Stand the Weather, and he goes, what was it? He goes, so he's like, blammy. Anyway, he's just playing that's a piece of that F 7th, so. It's F. Anyway, so this chord you can move all over the place, so we're using that one. Okay, so let's go back to the chart. So what we're going to do, we got the forms we're using, so we're going to play this D. So the song goes, it brings a tear into my, now we're going to do a regular D. Now we're going to do that A 7th, but so we got the regular form of E. Same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But we're going to take the 7 and we're going to make an E7, dominant. And we move it up to here. We got an A flat seventh, but we're not going to play the low note. We're going to play this note. So the movement is in the second fret, it's D, da, da. So it's da, da, okay? Just playing that A chord, just like it's written there, da. And then I'm going to change it. I'm going to have you guys do that D or D flat seventh that I taught you, da. But you're just going to go da, da, da. And then we're going to go up to that other D flat seventh that we learned off the off format. Ba, da, so da, da, ba, ba, ba. So you go ba, then the A flat ba, ba, and then you play this form ba. So okay, now this is that one that's based off on this A, but it's a D flat seventh, and this other thing is also a D flat seventh. So he plays a D flat, an A flat seventh with the E flat in the bass. Here's the E flat. So you play ba, 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 ba. It brings a tea. Okay, let's go to the wide. It brings a tea into my when I begin. Okay, now we're on the second last line in the top line. We just play the G flat seventh. So it's just like this A flat seventh, but now we're going to hit the real G flat in the bass. Now there's a new thing we're going to teach you. We taught it last week, so I'll explain it better. I explained it last week, so I'll do it really quick. This is called a G diminished seventh. Okay. So the seventh is not dominant. It's diminished. Our dominant seventh is going to get diminished. The regular seventh got diminished, flattened to be a seventh, a dominant seventh. And now it's going to get diminished even more, and it's going to actually be a sixth. Okay. Okay, then. So we begin to realize. So this note here. So basically, you have your G7. All you're doing, the relationship between this G flat seventh and the seventh, one step above it for the diminished, is you only move one note. So you got this triangle right here. These three notes. Can you go wide on me, tight on me, buddy? So you got these three notes here. So you got this whole chord. But let's just see these three, and then you just add. So what the chord was, you got these three here, and these three from the. So I'm just. Then you're just gonna like. All you do is move the G flat to the G. So that's the only difference. It's just the bass note. So it's like a G flat seventh chord, but it's got a G in the bass. So it's like, when you begin to realize. Now, a cool thing about the diminished chord that you can use this is every note in the chord is a minor third apart. So minor third is a flatted third. Well, what's a third? Well, let's just go. 1, 2. Oh, let's go on the G. 1, 2, 3. So from here to here's a third. So up to there. That's a third. Okay. So, but diminished are minor thirds. And then we go in minor third away from this. So minor third is just like you're on a note and you go up. So it's basically it's a minor third apart. So it's like between it's two. There's two whole half steps in between, or the notes are basically 3 half steps apart, I guess. So Then we go. Oh. Mm-hmm. You can play with that. Anyway, there's one I use almost all. I use this one because you don't have to move anywhere. And also, that's the root. Everyone's the root on this, but so it's a minor. And it's kind of good to know where your minor thirds are. Like I'm in an E right here, and so this relationship from here to here is a minor third, and then always to here's a minor third, and then always here the same thing. But when I'm on the G string, the distance moves because there's less space. Because this string is only the G string and the B string are not so far apart. They're 1/2 step less far apart than the other ones. The other ones are all fourths, and this one's a third. So the difference between the third and the fourth is a 1/2 step. So basically, when I go, instead of being here, I only got to go to here, and then this is still the same. Anyway, the dominant. But what you can do with it, so that since they're all the same distance, you can go like this. You can just move up in minor thirds. So, and I begin to realize I cried. I cried. Then it just, the second line is really cool. And what I want you to do is I want you just to hang in there with me and learn this second line, and then you got just about the whole song. It got this one little, teeny little thing it does. It goes one. Now what Ray Charles does cool, here he goes to an F seventh instead of an F minor seventh because we studied in the harmonic harmonized scale. The 2 and 3 are minors, but so you're on the 1 D, so F should be a minor. But Ray, a lot of times when he goes to that 3, which F is 3 away from the third note, the third away from D, and D it's like 1 2 3. So that's do re mi 3. He plays a dominant chord. So I cried so much. 3 7. Since you've been. Then he goes to a B minor, which is it's part of the D scale. B flat minor. Because when you go to 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4 5. Where's 1 2 3 4 5 6 6? Okay, so B flat's the 6. It should be minor, and it's minor here. I cried so 1 3. He's doing 7th. Since you've been gone, but he goes to the 6th chord, which is minor. He's cool, but then he goes round. Then he goes back to the 7th, but he's playing an F7 with a C in the bass. So you just play your F7, just like we did with the A7. Cried so much, much. I cried so much since you. And he's gonna go da 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 da. Then he goes up to a da da da. Oh, he goes back to a D. Oh, da 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 da. Maybe the bass player would he'd probably go to a B flat. So he goes, but F. Since you've been gone, B flat minor, then that F with the C in the bass. F. And then he plays the B flat with D flat in the bass. So just learn that, and it's just the way it's written. Since you've been gone. Oh, since you've been gone, I guess I'm. Now he goes to the E7th. Drowning. That's a 2 chord. It's supposed to be because D flat is 1. Drown, it's the 7th. In my own tears. So just go through that. Since I've cried so much. Now he's going to go one note for every beat in the measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba da da. I guess I'll drown in my own tears. Da, da, I guess I'll drown my tears. Oh, yes. I guess so. And you. Oh, okay, that's the second line. Drowning my own tears. So that's the first ending. So we're going to come back next week and do the part 2 of this thing. But that was the main thing to learn, how to go run through those chords. So you got those 2 lines. And then, because next week it's real easy. The thing where it goes, I cried so much. You can try this. Since you. And then I just go up to the B flat. And then you just move this A flat down. Because it says it's a D, you could go. So you go, dun, dun. That's kind of cool. So you play the B flat, then you play a D flat 7th, but you put this A flat in the middle. So it's dun, dun. And you just play that, do that the diminished thing that we did in the top line on the 3rd and 4th measure in the top line. I guess I'll drown it. Where am I at here? I guess you've been gone. I guess I'll drown. Okay, that's so much. Since you've been one to. I guess I'll drown in my. So he does one D flat, D flat. Oh man! And he goes now. He goes to the 6th. He makes it a 7th. So the minor drowning my own. So 6 and 2 are full on 7ths instead with the regular 3rd. I guess I'll drown in my own. Cheer. And so the rest of it's just like the same kind of runs. B, it goes, I guess I'm true. B part. I know some. And then he does the same thing. Ba, 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 ba. I'm so blue. Here without you, I hear it raining more and more. Why don't you? And he goes to the second ending again. You already know how to do this. Come on, and then you just do this new one.
home. Oh no. Oh, I think it goes to the first one. Come, you. Why don't you come on home? Well, anyway, I got ahead of it. But so the main thing is we learned the first line and the first ending. Can you go back to the wide? So just work on that stuff, and then we'll work on the rest of it next Tuesday. Okay, so don't forget to go into the description. So you sign up, so you get the notification. Get reminded, because I need that reminder sometimes on all this stuff. You just, where's the link? Where was it? So I'll see you next Tuesday, and all the best to you. Don't forget to sign up and hit the bell. Bye bye.